Hey, it's Amber Wynn, Philanthrepreneur. And if you are overwhelmed trying to figure out how to navigate this thing called starting a nonprofit, stop. Join me as I guide Kimberly Worthy of A Worthy Cause, nonprofit founder who's just in the beginning stages of building out a profitable nonprofit from start to finish. That's right. She's just now starting out. She's struggling, confused, overwhelmed by all of the information, just like you. And she's working with me so that I can help her build out consistent funding for her organization. I'm going to give you full access to our consulting sessions so you can get the real deal, so you can follow along, so don't you miss out. Hit that follow button and check the description bio for more details. All right, let's get to it. So let me ask you something. You said you think you're good with the cause, you're good with what is your cause? Because we talked a little bit about that last time, right?
Yes.
We talked about the elementary, the middle, and the high school. What is your
Mhm.
cause? And we know that your sexy title is a worthy cause, but if a funder just looked at that, what would what should
So
they do?
when I say I want to strengthen communities, but okay, see, I guess I know I can picture it in my head. I'm trying to get the words together because the problem is those young adults ages 18 to 25 that are aging out of the foster care system, they don't have anywhere to go. So in my mind, okay, so the spiel is, when our children, when my children or your children graduate from high school, it looks very different than when someone that's aging out of foster care looks like when they're aging out of high school. Because our children are probably excited, they're about to start a new life, maybe go to college and things, and then these children are trying to figure out where they're going to live, what they're going to do, how they're going to eat, things like that. So it's just a very different situation. But if we can support them and encourage them and give them the information that they need to learn and grow, then I think that they can be vital members within their community. See, this is the key part that I was trying to get to. So I'm trying to create vital members within the community, so that way we can strengthen the community. So I was watching that video and then I was trying to do the how, the when,
Mm,
the who, and try to bring it back without saying too many words.
got
But
it.
it's all really kind of the same
You
thing.
understood the assignment.
Thank you, thank you, thank you.
So this is eventually what we want. We want funders to hear a worthy cause and that to be synonymous with,
Children in the foster care system.
there you go. Right. So
Okay.
absolutely. Um, so I think to answer your question as it relates to your why, that is your why, right? You want them to be, vital citizens in the community. And when we have all facets of our community that have resources, that they feel safe, that they have hope, that they have a pathway for the future, then that does.
Mhm.
It strengthens our community. I will also let you know that money's not an issue because there's this thing that I teach my founders. It's you want to stack your funds. What do I mean by that? It's a strategy whereby so most founders, they'll have a fundraiser and they just throw it into this like slush fund and then it goes out. We want to have a strategy, right? So let's just
Mhm.
say you do a popcorn fundraiser. You've seen those, right?
Yeah, yeah.
They're 4 days, and depending on how big your network is, you can generate, $1,000, or you can generate, $10,000. It depends on how big your network is.
Mhm.
What I would say to you is if you did that fundraiser and you were able to generate $2,000, would you pay for a grant writer or would you pay for this course?
I'll pay for this course.
Right. Right. So now you've generated that because now this course is going to give you more information on how to
Mhm.
generate more. Okay. Right. So
Yeah.
that's what so that's what we're going to do. We're going to I have a resource. It's non-traditional workbook of funding sources, and it's just a whole bunch of different fundraising ideas. And so you can say, all right, so I'm going to generate $500, and then I'm going to take that $500. Basically, I'm going to flip it because I'm going to invest it into something
Mhm.
that's give me more money till you get to whatever that funding goal is, right?
Right.
If
Yeah.
your funding goal is $25,000, because that's how much you really should start with, then
Okay.
we're going to stack those revenue streams to get you to that.
Okay. Gotcha. Gotcha.
And in the book, let's just say if you don't have any money to invest, that first section is, you can generate money without investing any money. You're going to get a smaller pot of money, but
Mhm.
second section is you're going to invest a little bit, but then you'll get a higher return. So just depending on how much you want to invest, you can get a quicker return. But if you have none, then you gotta, generate it so you
Right.
can stack it. Okay. So yes. So honestly, revenue is not your issue because we have a solution for that.
Yes,
But
for sure.
yeah, but your response was golden. Like money's not gonna stop me. Would you be of more value by serving on somebody's board and helping them, and they're already doing something similar to what you're doing, but not quite? And why I say that is this organization has been doing the work already. Do you need to start another nonprofit, or can you add your ideas to a nonprofit that's already existing?
And as I mentioned before, when I read that part, I did consider, sponsorship, right? I'm like, could this be? But at the end of the day, you know what I'm saying? I feel like you have workers and you have leaders, right? You know what I'm saying? And I don't think leaders step out in the morning and say, oh, I'm going to be a leader. I just think it just is or it ain't. You know what I mean? And I don't think leaders is feeling real good about being workers right now. You know what I'm saying? So, no, I don't think I can sit on nobody's board and watch their nonprofit. You know what I'm saying? As I did the last two jobs in a row. I don't even know. Yeah, no.
In the course, we're talking about what a nonprofit is and what it ain't. What a nonprofit
Hmm.
is a public charity, and you don't own it. You can't own it because it
Yeah.
is a public charity. The IRS created this specific organization to serve the public good.
Hmm.
A lot of people start their nonprofits thinking, I'm gonna start my business. This is my business, because I say a nonprofit is a business, but it's a special kind of business, right?
Hmm. Yes.
Public charity whereby you and those of you who start the nonprofit cannot benefit from it. That takes it
Hmm.
from being a public charity to being an organization that you own. So in the course, I'm asking you, what's your why? Like, what are you doing this for? But if you think, oh, it's easier to start a nonprofit because all you got to do is form the thing, right?
Hmm. Right.
As opposed to a for-profit, they want a business plan, they want prospectus, they want to, you know what I mean? So
Yeah.
people
Yeah.
think, oh, I'm just gonna start this nonprofit, I'm gonna get this grant money, right? I'm gonna pay
Hmm.
for my car, I'm gonna pay for my house. Some people are really well intentioned. No, 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 no. I'm gonna start this nonprofit because my people can't afford it. And so I want this nonprofit so they can get their services for free. Either way, it is important to understand what the IRS's intentions are for this
Hmm.
special designation so that you go into. I have people say to me, oh yeah, I'm gonna pass my nonprofit down to my daughter. You can't.
Yeah.
You don't
No.
own it,
No.
right? Right.
Right.
And so my hope with you, Kimberly, in starting your nonprofit is that it is
Hmm.
around generations long after you're gone.
Mm-mm. That's not a thing. You know what I'm saying? Because how is my dream my kid's dream? You know what I'm saying? This is my passion. This is my goal. This ain't got nothing to do with my kids. Now if you want to volunteer on this fundraiser, sure. But yeah, no,
No, but
and I think that's like a
your
passion when you're doing
nonprofit
the
should be around long after you are here because
favor.
put the infrastructure in, right? But it's not something
Yeah.
that you can pass down. Yeah, I mean, like you would a company.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
150 years from now, my picture on a plaque in the
That's right.
first
As
building.
the
You know
founder.
what I
That's
mean?
right.
The founder. You know what I mean? Yes, that's the goal, right?
That's
Chills on my
right.
face.
That's
That's the
right.
goal, right?
For me, when I was an executive director, it was about my girls. It was about how can we serve the girls. But when you approach your funder, it has to be about how can I align what I'm doing with what this funder is doing. And
Mhm.
people don't think about that. They're like, my kids, my seniors, and you need to get that money.
Right,
It-
right.
It's like it's like it's like this, Kimberly. It's like, you know, I'm not
Yeah.
saying I'm not saying to not be true to your mission, but you're gonna do the work. I'm saying
Mhm.
get that money
Mhm.
so that
So
you can
you
do
can
the
do
work.
the mission.
People
Exactly.
are ready to fight me. Desiree, why should I have to? Why? You are asking someone for money.
Yes.
You're
Yes.
asking them for money. So if you're asking them for money, you have to look a certain way. So that's really what module 2 is about. It's about
Mhm.
helping you to understand that there's a difference between being eligible, which is you have a 501c3.
Yeah,
People
yeah,
who don't
and then
have a 501c3 can't even apply for the grant, right? But there's a
right.
difference between being eligible and qualified. Qualified
Mhm.
is that you have a clear and concise mission. You have clear program, measurable goals. You have an organization history that pops. You know what I mean? So there's
Right.
a difference. We want you to be in that space where you're competitive.
Mhm.
That's
And
the
that analogy brought it all home, right? The analogy that you had in the modular, it just brought it all home. Like, yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like, would I pay, $200 for a thousand men,
right.
access to 1,000 men, or would I pay $2,000 for access to 100 qualified
I'm
men? You
in,
know what
right?
I mean?
Right?
Right?
You're like,
Yeah,
oh, you're like,
yeah,
I'm more than likely going to get what I want out of
yeah.
the small little
Exactly.
group,
Then
right?
these people, you know what I mean? Yeah. Even though it's more, but I mean, how many in that more is qualified?
So here's the thing. Yes, you want to get those stats for Missouri because your kids aren't going to just stay in the Cape or whatever you call your town. Going to go out, right? So there's different ways that they're going to interact with you. Now, what you want to say though, this is where you're going to deliver your services. So if there's 12,000 in the system,
Mhm.
how many are you going to serve in your
Hey,
county?
Colorado.
Right.
Okay.
So you may have 4 schools, 3 middle,
One,
just one.
just one. I,
So
I live in literally a small town, like
how big
literally.
is your school district?
It's really it's not. I don't know. Like it's not. There's one high school. There's
Uh-huh.
one middle school.
Uh-huh.
There's 3, 4 elementary schools, and there's a college.
Wow. Okay. Well,
Yeah.
but the beautiful thing about that is you have feeders, right? You could
Hmm.
start as young as, elementary, but we said we were gonna, do the
Middle
high
school.
school, the middle
Hmm.
school. So you identify them, then you start delivering the services, right? And then by the time they get to high school, you already have their plan. You already have their plan for them. So they're not leaving high school. They're not aging out thinking, where am I going to go? What am I going to do? You know what I
Yes.
mean?
Yes.
They already have a plan because you've been working with them. And here's the thing, a child in the foster care system in Missouri is a child in the foster care system in LA. Now, LA is different because, it's a big city. We may have more resources and things of that nature.
Hmm.
But what you're talking about is replicating the system. So when I talk about having a funding stream, I'm talking about the fact that every nonprofit should have 10 streams of revenue.
Hmm.
So once you get this system down pat and you see some success, you can go over to the big city in Missouri. What's the name of the big city in Missouri?
St. Louis. That's where I'm from. St. Louis.
All right. So you can go to St. Louis and be like, check this out. I have
That's the goal.
I've created this program. We've demonstrated success. So now I need to bring it to St. Louis. You can
Hmm.
pay me to train your people, right? You're going to
Hmm.
license your course. So you're getting paid to train their people. You're getting trained to license their course. Every year you're going to improve it. So you're going to charge for so
Yes.
you get to spread your program, but right now it's the training wheels so you can work out all the kinks.
Yes.
So that
Yes. Yes.
so that after year 2, you can be like, all right, we got this. We know what we're doing. Now we're
Practice.
going to get more money so that we can serve more youth and then we can, right? So what generally happens at this point is an individual will get their 501c3 and they'll be like, all right, where are my grants? That's not the first thing you should be doing. The first thing you should be doing after you get your articles of incorporation, besides building out your infrastructure, is
Mhm.
looking for a partner to partner with. So in
Okay.
our case, it's either going to be the court system, who typically deals with the foster youth, um,
Mhm.
some counselors, who's dealing specifically with your, sometimes, well, in LA anyway, the schools, they have, they know who the foster youth are and they have special programs for them. One of my clients, she does dance with the foster youth so that they can be fully self-expressed or whatever. And she partners with the school.
Oh,
Yeah, yeah, yes, but with the school specifically to do that. So for you, it's either you're going to find a partnership with an after school program, you're going to find a partnership within school, or it's going to be the court system, or it's going to be some type of counseling. I don't know, before they age out, do they have case managers? Like, you're going to, do you have group homes? Like, you're going to find your partner where you are going to, who you're going to partner with so that you can deliver your programs with them.
gotcha, gotcha, gotcha. I'm gonna find me a partner. I think I can do that.
Yeah, so because the goal is, people are like, "I need a building." No, you don't need a building. You need to see
Yeah.
if the dang programs even work, right?
That's what I'm thinking. I'm like, I need a building. Like, I need somewhere for them to be.
You need
Exactly.
to figure out this program first.
Right.
So you
Right.
partner with somebody who is
Mhm.
already delivering these types of services, or who not even delivering,
Dealing with the people.